those who don't know, this is Elder Amoja Ajabu, your host for Jabu Speaks. This program stands and is given from a position that we have no apologies for. This program is a Pan-African program. It is given from a Pan-African perspective. It's not concerned about where you was born, if you was born in the United States or born in Greenland or born in Russia. We're talking about where you're from. We're talking about this piece of land right here, the African continent. And so this perspective is given from the perspective of us understanding what's best for Africans. What's best for Africa? So if we're giving that kind of perspective, sometimes, quite often, it's going to run into a conflict with where you was born. Because where you was born, if it was someplace other than Africa, then them policies have been, for a large extent, anti-us. This program also serves as the political education for the Black Panther movement. We're unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. And we are going to be blessed today with an icon of the civil rights movement, and now a legend in the Black Power movement. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to mix it up. We're going to dig in his head. We're going to ask the elder to share the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he has because of his experience with us on the things that we're going through here today. And there's a couple of issues that I really want to deal with. One is the youth going around talking about now using this language that look, don't mess with me. We ain't like our elders or like our ancestors. I'm not like my ancestors. What does that mean? Now there were some of us that went along with the program, but there were some of us that existed. What do you mean you ain't like your ancestors? And so we're going to talk to Mukasa, Dada, about the man that coined the phrase Black Power. We're going to talk to him and let him give us some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of that contemporary thought of our youth. I'm not like my ancestors. Oh no! We're going to talk about it. And then the second topic that I want to have the benefit of digging into the elders' head is about the situation that happened in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the young brother was in a car that police thought was stolen, ran from the car. The police ran him down, shot him down in the parking lot. And when his daddy saw the video, he went out and ran over a police officer. We want to talk about that because now I'm getting a word from the boots on the ground that the police officer that shot Ryan Hinton, the system has said he was justified. He's not going to be held accountable. He's going to get away with murder. And so the people are upset about that, and now they're talking about rioting. We're going to talk to Brother Elder Mukasa Dada. Is that the solution? We're going to talk about it. And we're going to get the beauty and the value from his mind to where it's that knowledge that he has is passed on to the next generation, us, and the next generation, you, and the next generation, until we understand this story that we're living, that's called life. It's what we We act like we're living in a vacuum, like we don't understand that our life is connected to our past, and it's defining our future. But before I get into that discussion with Brother Mukasa, I want to talk to you about the second point of the 7-point Black Power platform for the Black Panther militia, so that you understand where we're coming from. And we believe in political action. We believe that Black Power politics must become the dominant politics for Black people wherever we are. The Black Panther movement is politically active, and our politics are Black Power politics. The political tactics of our Black Power movement are revolutionary. We ain't trying to go along to get along. In the mood of Panther legend Huey P. Newton and Panther chairman Dr. Khalid Muhammad, we represent Black nationalism. And we are the successors to Minister Malcolm X and the Honorable Marcus Garvey. We uphold Pan-Africanism. We believe that Africa should be for the benefit of Africans, no matter where we are, on the continent, in the diaspora. Those resources that are on the African continent or up under the soil of the African continent should be for the benefit of African people. And like President Kwame Nkrumah and the Honorable Robert Sobukwe, who founded the Pan-Africanist Congress, we are fighting for a United States of Africa. We want Africa not to be a bunch of countries. We want it to be one country, one aim, one God, one destiny. Revolutionary Pan-African nationalism is our political ideology, which means that 2 billion Black people worldwide must unite, and in every nation throughout the diaspora organize and take complete command of our people, our resources, and our political destiny. That is the second point of the 7-point Black Power platform for the Black Panther movement. I want to use that as a departure to bring on our brother. Bring the brother on, Brother Mitchell. Bring on the legend. Bring on the man that coined the word Black Power. Bring him on. Is he there?
Yes, sir.
My brother. How you doing?
All right, my brother.
Black Power.
Black Power, brother.
I wanted to dig in your head, Brother Mukasa, because you're so wise and have a historical foundation from which we all can learn. And as I said in the introduction, I want to dig into this language that the youth are using to say that don't push them because they was fighting, because they will fight because they're not like their ancestors. Delineate that for me. Look at that historically and with your wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and experience. And how does that touch you? Talk to me about that. Talk to us about that. Please. I can't hear you. Are you muted? Brother Mukasa.
I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah, can you interact with the youth saying that they are not like their ancestors. Don't mess with them. They're not passive like their ancestors. Can you give us some wisdom and knowledge on how you feel about that?
Well, it's very simple. You can't separate a tree from its roots. A man without his history, a woman without their history, is like a tree without roots, weak and cannot stand. So Africa is our roots, and Africa is our future. And we have to stand on Africa in order to be a strong tree or a strong people, period.
Uh, See, I don't, I don't, I don't even believe, and I may be wrong, but I don't even believe that the youth that I have heard say that are even looking at it from an African perspective. They're looking at it from a perspective of the Africans, you and me, that are right here in the United States of America. They are telling white folks that, look, I ain't like them. I'll fight you. As if we didn't fight. Now, we ain't won, but we did fight and we're still fighting. So that rubs me a little raw. I don't feel good to me, especially with the price that I know that has been paid by people like you and me and Kwame Ture, Robert Williams, Malcolm, Medgar. We fought. Fannie Lou Hamer. We fought. Martin, we fought. There were some of us that fought. There were some of us that didn't go along with the go along to get along. Didn't go along with the program. And now it looks like that they are just ignoring that, dispelling that, saying that they ain't like those of us that fought because they were fighting. And I appreciate you. You're fighting, but why do you have to dispel your legacy? And I hear you. If you understand that your legacy goes all the way back to this African continent, then you understand that we fought right here not too long ago just to liberate this, just to get it back in our own hands. We ain't running it too well, but we're getting in a position to run it better so that we can start benefiting from uh, the resources that piece of land is yielding. So we must educate our youngsters. And Brother Mukasa, you're right. They don't understand the tree. If you're talking about you dislike the roots of the tree, then you dislike the root, and you just dislike the tree. That means that you don't like yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree 100%. And the best way to kill the people is to kill their roots. And we know that we were taken out of Africa on slave ships, and they came into Africa and killed hundreds of millions of people and put the people in slavery, forced another culture and religion on the people, promised them very nice things after they die, somewhere by and by, and stole everything that was on earth that they can get their hands on, and took us out of Africa and well, first they went around the world and killed everybody on every land. And then they go and put themselves on that land, change the name of the land, change the name of the people, change the language of the people. We don't supposed to be speaking England English. Change the name of the people, change their language, and then break their countries down into a lot of different pieces. There was a conference called the Berlin Conference, where they met and cut
See,
Africa, cut the world up in little pieces, well, for among white people, where they could have our land and have our territory, and each one take a slash of that land and rape it, rob it, and commit genocide on it. That's what the United States has done. United States is what's called a settler colony, where the Europeans go to your land, kill you, commit genocide on you, and then they flood your land with people and dominate yourself, dominate your language, and not allow you to speak it, not allow you to have an identity, and give you a new identity. Like the word America is a new identity for this territory because for tens of thousands of years it existed as another territory and another people. And now these people have come and flooded the land and using this land to go around the world and kill other people and many people. And the continent of Africa has been cut up into about 50, 60 different pieces or more and given all different names, force their language on us, and what have you. And they go deep down into the land and take all the natural resources out of the land. And today, Africa is being raped for its natural resources, and that goes from diamonds and gold all the way up to peanuts and mangoes. And this is how Europe get rich. This is how Europe have factories and industries. This is how the telephone companies exist by what they take out of your land. And another thing they do is to take your mind away from you and flood you with a lot of white stuff, a lot of European stuff, where you will erase your knowledge of yourself, or your history, of your culture, and make you think like they do. And that's all they do. They put us under censorship and just continue to give us their line of information, which is based on lies and falsehood. And everything that you have done, they claim it and make you think that you are nothing and nobody and have no identity. And their job is to make you hate not just your hair, your nose, your lips, your skin, even your bodies, but they make you hate your parents, make you hate your grandparents, your great grandparents, all the way back to your roots and ancestry. And these are the kinds of propaganda that they use to destroy us and then use us to kill each other and to help them steal the natural resources out of our land by working us as slaves and working us for nothing. And we got natural resources, and they just create them a paper and make you think that that paper is value enough to get your natural resource. They call it money, but money is nothing but shit paper with their picture on it, and that and we should not go at money. We got natural resources, and our resources is responsible for everything that exists in the world. And this is what we mean by our culture, our history, and our identity. But we have to love our roots. And in order to love yourself, your people, you have to love your roots. And our love start with Africa and grow abroad wherever we are in the world. And that don't even mean that we have a relationship with all the people in the world and try to develop the world and make the world better for everybody. But we know first we have to start with Africa. Africa is our land. Is that okay, Majamu?
yeah, boy, that's on target, Elder. That's on target. And I hope that our youth are listening. And I want to use that as a segue into this situation that happened in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the young boy was sitting up in a car that wasn't stolen. What had happened is they hadn't paid the payment, and the credit company said, "Well, if you ain't paid the payment, then I'm gonna put it out there stolen." When the police run the tag, it comes back as stolen. That the car is stolen, they frighten the four youngsters that are up in there. All of them run and they chase Ryan down and they shoot him in the back, in the chest, on the side. Just shoot him up. Yeah, and when his daddy saw how they shot him up, he went out 15 minutes from seeing the video. He looked for him a cop. He found him a cop and he dropped the cop. He said that I love my son. My son has value to me. You can't just take my son without paying the cost. And the cost was that he went out there and ran over a cop. He dropped the cop. I ain't mad at him. My only problem is I think that the little boy's life was worth more than one cop's life. At least. I wish he'd have found 10 of them standing in a circle and took them all out. That boy's life is worthy, and we got to start acting like our lives is worthy, and we got to stop talking down about ourselves when we don't know what we're talking about. If you fighting, then you like us. We the same people. And we're going to fight until we get these devils up off our back. But now these youngsters, Brother Mukasa, these youngsters are talking about rioting. Because now they don't release the name of the officer that gunned Ryan down. They released his name, and now they made a decision that it was all right for the officer to gun down Ryan. And so we're not going to charge you with anything. We're not going to have any administrative process to say that we're going to take your job. No, you ain't going to make you whole. And look, we're going to tell the world that it was justified. It was all right for you to murder that boy, and we're going to let you get away with it. It's right in the answer, Brother Mukasa.
Yes, sir. And also, we have to remember
It is.
When they came to Africa, they killed hundreds of millions of us, raped our women, raped our children. They put us on slave ships with chains on our hands, necks, and feet. They stacked us on top of each other like you stack lumber. And people starved to death and died on those ships. They came here and committed genocide on the people that was here, killed hundreds of millions of people in the so-called Americas. And I don't know how many millions and hundreds of millions they killed in Africa, in Asia, and wherever they have gone. And they continue to do that. And this is what we call colonialism. And colonialists go out and kill everybody and take over their land. So killing and murdering us is nothing new. Matter of fact, there was a general from Belgium that went to the Congo. And the Congo is the richest part of the world, full of diamonds and gold and coltan and cobalt and many, many minerals that I don't even know of. I know the mineral that make the telephone or create the telephone or make the telephone work is in the Congo. And iPhone and all these industries like that are in the Congo, raping those minerals and got our people picking that radiation, little children 4 and 5 years old, picking radiation and dying. And there are no hospitals for the most parts, no doctors for the most parts, and people die. They're killing us by the millions in the Congo right now, and the United States is part of it. And that was a general, speaking of murder, named Leopold. And when Leopold was in charge of the Congo, Leopold killed tens of millions of people. More people, murdered more probably than any other white folks in the world, and that's saying a lot. And that when the Africans didn't bring enough of their resources back to these white people from Belgium, France, when they didn't bring enough resources back to them, they would cut their ears off. And then they were so brutal, they started cutting your hands off if you didn't work hard enough. And they were so brutal, they started cutting your hands, your feet off. And they did that, and it was so good at that, they started cutting your whole family. If you didn't bring them enough rubber leaves or diamonds or whatever you're supposed to bring back, they would cut your whole families, leaving your little babies' hands and feet off. And to the day, you had millions of people down there with no hands and feet. And that this is what the brutality of the European has been toward the people of color and toward the lands of other people. And we see them doing the same thing in Palestine today. And we see them dropping bombs in Iran today, killing tens of thousands of people, trying to take their land, trying to explain an evil system called Zionism and Israel. And they set up Israel to commit genocide on the Palestinians, on Egypt, on Saudi Arabia. It's coming. They're gonna get theirs too. They the Uncle Toms right now. Oh, now they committed on Iran. We already seen it being committed in Iraq, in Lebanon, Palestine, Libya, and other parts of the world. And that this is what the United States does, and this is what all their president does. Obama was a neo-colonial president. He murdered, robbed, and dropped bombs and committed genocide on different people in the world for the power structure of imperialism, the white power structure of imperialism. And unfortunately, they have got a
Now,
lot of
Mukasa doing things
Africans
around the world.
who have joined in
Can,
with them.
can, can,
Black
can
faces
I
have joined in with them and helped them kill and take the land from other people. Those of you in the army, you're killers, you're mercenary murderers for your slave master. If you're in the army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, or ROTC, or anything like that, you're murderers and killers for these people, and that we call these, and that some of them are so good, they set them up in government and put them on the front line, let them think they're the president and whatever, and the same people continue to take your resources out and leave your people poor, and you got African black people that help them do that, and we call them Uncle Tom traders, and now they call them neo-colonialists, and they are people that work with the slave master, work with imperialism, and help their own land, be raped, and help their own people be starved to death. And they have armies, and they point their guns at their own people whenever the master tells them to do, or whenever anybody want to get free. And they commit genocide and assassinate them like they did Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and many, many others around the world. So we're in a revolution. We're fighting against imperialism and Zionism. And in America, we call it capitalism. But the United States is the leading imperialist. It's the leading capitalist in the world that's raping, robbing, and murdering. And they do it in the name of their religion, in the name of whatever. And all the news media do nothing but tell lies and lies. And black people, African people that sit up on their news, they do nothing but lie to you and say what they white slave masters want them to say. But Africa must be free. And that's what I'm saying, Brother Jamu. Africa must be free. Africa is our land. And last, I want to say that everybody is named after the land they come from. China named after China. Korea is named after Korea. Uh, European named after you, what you call white folks. And everybody's named after their land. And we Africans are named after Africa. We are African people. And Africa is our land. If we're going to eat, have housing, lights, gas, water, and not be in debt to nobody, and have the best medical care, we want Africa. And also, I want to just say, a system that brings justice and freedom, justice to people, and solve this problem that the people have, and make sure they have lights, gas, water, food, medicine without being in debt. It's called socialism, scientific socialism. It's an economic system that's for the poor people. It rises the poor people up where we can erase poorness. And the job of a nation, of a government, is to give the people what they need and not try to make money off the people and not rob and steal from the people like the United States government does. It robs the poorest of the poorest and make more poor. Ajama.
Well, I don't disagree with anything that you said. And again, you took us around the world, but if I could go back here to Cincinnati, Ohio, and focus on that just for a second. I want to have an exchange with you. Why you say that rioting is the solution to stop or the response to the police officer getting away with the murder of Brian Hinton there in Cincinnati? Why are you saying that rioting is the solution? Why are you saying that rioting ought to be the response? Talk to me. Are
I'm
you still
here.
there?
Are you asking me that question?
Uh, yeah, I'm asking you. Why did you say that rioting should be the response in Cincinnati because the police officer who gunned down and murdered Ryan is not going to be held accountable for it? Why did you say that rioting is the solution?
Well, they're never going to be held responsible for it. This is what they set out to do: is to kill, murder, and keep us in slavery. And
Yeah, but I'm saying I won't argue that. But I'm saying why are you saying here in Ohio that rioting is the solution or rioting should be
well,
the
I ain't got no
response?
problem with.
I mean, I think there should be a response. Go ahead.
I think they should get even more sophisticated and be revolutionary, and when and be
Now, come on, now talk
and
to
build them an
me.
army, and the and go and attack
Ah,
and fight the system, or fight the
yes,
police department, or fight the armies that surround us and continue to hold us down. That's why we're revolutionaries, and we want to build a worldwide African army. Well, not only we can fight for the liberation of Africa, but we can be like China. China have a nation
yes,
now, and it's a very powerful nation, and it's able to protect its people wherever they are in the world. So if you hear China got 1 billion people there on that territory, and but the Chinese are probably in every nation every country in the world doing whatever they do, business or living or whatever. But the nation of China protects all the Chinese in the world. So if you kill a Chinese in Cincinnati, they got an answer to the Chinese government, and the Chinese government is strong enough to respond to anything that these people do to a Chinese, and anything they do to their land anywhere in the world, they have to respond. So now we need a strong Africa that can respond and be able to take care of us financially, economically, how you say, politically, and any other way that we need to be taken care of. We should be taken care of by Africa. And by taking care of by Africa, I mean we should take over the diamonds, the gold, the oil, the silver, the copper, the pearl, the
all of that,
cobalt, the manganese that's on our
all of
land,
that.
Africa, and then use
That's right.
that to build up Africa and give everybody a house, home, land, and anybody not living in Africa, we can give them different employment or different kinds of things that they need to help them survive, and they won't have to beg for welfare, food stamps, or beg America for nothing. And they don't do nothing but steal from you, take from you, and make you poor and poor and poor. And we have worked for them ever since they stole us from Africa. We have worked for them from sun up to sundown, and we have got nothing but poor and poor and poor. And 3, 4, 500 years later, we living under the bridges. Our children, our men are in the jails and prison, women too. Our babies, our little children are out here in the streets being shot down and murdered by the United States government, the whole government, Democrats and Republicans, all of them are guilty. And that we have to come together and build a strong revolutionary African party, a strong revolutionary African organization that stretches throughout the world. And that Nkrumah tried to build one. He called it the All African People's Revolutionary Party. And that means all Africans all over the world can be a part of the party. And we come now to teach our people where they can have the same ideology, where they can have the same understanding. And this is what we want to give them. They try to make sure through the schools and through the churches and through their other institutions, news and information, that we are deaf, dumb, and blind. And in order for us not to be deaf, dumb, and blind, we got to be taught by African people. We got to be taught from information that's coming from our culture, coming from our land, coming from our history, and not from those that come to enslave us, lie to us, confuse us, and murder us. And you can't let your enemy be your teacher. You can't let your rapist be your teacher. You can't
No,
make the ones that make your problem solve your problem. If
that's right.
we got a problem, our problem got to be solved by Africans, by Africa. And that's why they reach and take all our resources out of Africa, and now they can build cars. They got factories and industries all over the world, millions of them all over the world, out of what they steal from Africa. And just like that man Musk, he steals his resources from Africa, and yet he's one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest, from what he stole out of Africa. And at the same time, he hate Africans.
Right.
You understand that we make them rich, we make them whatever they are, but at the same time they hate us, and their program is to kill us and oppress us and rape us and murder us. Our job is to unite Africa. Our fight is for Africa. That's what we have to teach our people their history and their culture. And that's why when you go to church Sunday and that preacher get up, if he don't talk about Africa, tell him to shut up. Shut
Sit
your
down.
damn mouth. And when the teacher teach at school, if they ain't talking about Africa, tell them to shut their damn mouth. You
Sit
ain't
down.
talking about nothing but slavery. You're just running what this old white man told you to run. Our fight is for Africa, and we want to have an African ideology like Nkrumah and Sekou Toure and Thomas Sankara. Many of them have told us that we must have, but we must be guided and directed. That an ideology is like, I guess, a roadmap to our liberation.
Yeah, now, see, and I don't agree, I disagree with anything you said. In fact, I co-sign what you said, and that legacy of trying to establish that one united Africa, the Black Panther movement under the stellar leadership of the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz, that is what we're trying to do. And you know as well as I know that we're getting ready to take a trip over on that African continent to further that agenda. And y'all tune in when we come back in Mukasa. When we come back, you and I got to get on here with the other folks, and we can talk about what we learned on that trip and how we're going to move forward on those trips. And I definitely agree with you that in Ohio that rioting is not the way. Form a revolutionary army and start carrying out military tactics. And I'm saying that the Brian's father showed us what to do. The only thing that he did not plan well was his getaway. And if you do military science, you got to plan how you're going to get to the mission. You got to plan on what you're going to do at the mission, and then you got to plan how you got to get away. You got to do all three of those. If you don't do all three of those, then somewhere in trying to accomplish the mission, you fail. And if you're riding downtown, then you're in the belly of the beast. You can't win that war. But if you are a gorilla and you in the neighborhood and you catch them sleeping in the neighborhood, hit them and split. Know how you gonna get there, know what you're gonna do, and know how you're gonna get away. And if you got an army, then you got a support network to where that if you need to get up off the street, somebody in the neighborhood is opening the door so they can't find you. And if somebody comes in the door, they say you ain't here. That's what we're talking about, organizing. When you talk about a military organization, only 10% of the people do the actual fighting. And that's those brothers that's out there fighting each other. That somebody needs to be fought, but it's not each other. Don't fight each other. Fight the people that's fighting us. And once you understand how to do it, and you practice, and we build that network, you can hit them and get away. And that's key. And they will get the message. And you don't have to get the one riding the insurance. You don't have to get the one that killed the son. Just get one, two, three, get 10. If you get 20, oh, we're going to write about you in history. Because we know you're a bad man. Or you might be a bad woman. Get out. Black people, out. You mighty race, accomplish what you need. Brother Mukasa, I want to thank you dearly for joining us. And look forward to having you back to share with us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that you have has to be shared because we are battling for the minds of our people. Because if we win the battle for the minds of our people, then our people will act right. You can't act right if you ain't been taught right. And we're
Well,
gonna teach them so that they act right.
one
Yes, sir.
other thing is I want to make sure that we don't forget that we definitely trying to organize our people into organization, and all of us have to be in some kind of organization and movement, and we definitely want education in the head before the gun in the hand, and most important thing that we want revolution. And revolution, a ride, you go out and you throw a few bricks one day and a couple of days, or bust a few heads a couple of days. But revolution, continue to fight and overturn the system and totally destroy the evils that has been there and replace it with something good. We want to destroy capitalism and replace it with socialism and even communism. Take communism just means you take everything that they done stole and give it back to the poor, and this is what we want to do. And second, I want to say that there's some young brothers in Africa, in Burkina Faso, and Mali and Niger. They have taken over the country, and they have taken it over, and now they control the diamonds, the gold, and all the other resources in the country. And the United States have tried to kill them, but they are coming and they're uniting. And all the Africans in the world, everybody of African descent and everybody of conscious descent, all the socialist forces of the world, like Russia, has sent 10. Russia sent over 100,000 troops there to put around an African, a black man, an African, to protect him from the United States and from France, Britain, and Germany and the Europeans that want to kill him and be able to take over them diamonds and put the Africans back in slavery. They have the land. And what they're saying to all the other African nations, we got all these natural resources, and you allow France and the United States and all of them to come in here and take our and bring in millions of tons of loads of stuff to cars and to bring this stuff out of Africa and bring it to France and Britain and make them rich and leave us poor. They're saying no more. And we want this natural resources. And now they're building hospitals. Now they're building schools. Now they're building universities. Now they're giving everybody free housing, no light bill, no gas bill, no water bill. And all of that is what they're trying to do under Pan-Africanism. And they're saying to all the other African nations, all them old people that's been in government for the last 40, 50 years, giving away our stuff, they live good and watch their own people starve to death. They're saying to you, we're going to get rid of you because you're nothing but crooks and you're gangsters and you're a slave. You take our money, our resource, and you send it to Europe and put it in the white man banks and leave Africa poor and hungry. And they're saying that they got to get rid of them, and we're going to get rid of them. But what we got 3 countries now: Mali, how you say, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger has united, and now we must support them. And I want everybody to Google Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, Fafo.
So,
Faso.
mhm.
Faso. Burkina Faso. You Google that and start reading about it every day. Every day. And you say to America and say to all these Europeans in the whole world, hands off Burkina Faso. And if you try to kill that little president there, we're going to raise hell. We're going to fight. And the killing and murdering and raping of our children is not nothing new. They've been doing it 500 years and they continue to do it, and they ain't going to stop until we stop them. But the most important thing is a revolutionary organization, a revolutionary Pan-African organization, a revolutionary organization that have ideology, Pan-Africanism's objectives, ideology that give our people their history, their culture, their identity, and bring them together in one strong organization, one strong movement. And that we condemn America. Don't like a politician just because he got black skin. Obama had black skin, and he was the #1 murdering of African
Yeah.
people. He's the one murdered Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, who had a land full of oil and richness, and he murdered them, killed over 1 million people to go with him, and took all the oil and gave it to the white companies. And now the people in Libya are starving to death, and the white companies are taking the oil and sending it out over the world, and they're rich and leaving the people poor. Biden was the devil. Obama was the devil. That woman that's vice president with Biden is the devil. All of them the devil. We Democrats ain't no African party.
No,
Democrats
sir.
ain't no part of us.
No.
Republican ain't no part of us. We need
No.
our own African party. We
Yes.
need our own African organization. And this
Yes.
is what we have to strive for. We're talking about revolution, and revolution overturns systems. Revolution destroy evil governments. Revolution destroy evil armies and build an army that's for the people and build mass party. We talking about building a mass party, a worldwide party where you touch one, you touch them all over the world. If you touch one in Libya, we'll burn down something in Namibia. We touch
Yes.
one in Namibia, we'll burn one, fight. We help our brothers and sisters fight in Haiti that they're
Yes.
dropping bombs on right now as we talk. They don't like Haiti because Haiti was the first nation to get independent, run the French out, run the white man out. And they've been fighting and killing the Haitians ever since. And the United States has got drones and bombs over there bombing them right now. And that was in 1804. And now, 150 years later, they still bombing the Haitians. They still punishing them for getting free. They don't want them to be free. They don't want us to be free. And they will kill and murder and assassinate us. We need to burn down all the jails, all the prisons, all of that mess. They got them all over the world. Get out the white man's army. Join your own army, join your own organization, and help the freedom fighters of the world fight. Help Burkina Faso. Stand up with Iran. Stand up with all the people that's fighting back right now. Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Cuba. Cuba has led the way. They're trying to starve the people in Cuba to death right now as we talk. They blocked them from getting food. They blocked them from getting medicine. They blocked them from getting anything that it takes for the country to develop and move. And they make the people starve to death, creating hunger and starvation and death. And this is what the United States is doing. They got embargoes on a lot of different countries. Trump named a bunch of them. They're trying to do it too. And this is what they're doing. They're murderers. They're rapists. If you don't let them have your diamonds, your gold, your oil, your silver, after they don't use you for 100 years or 200 years and got rich off you, the day you say you want to feed your own people, they consider you to be an enemy and they come after you to kill you and murder you. And this is what they do. That's why they killed Martin Luther King and Malcolm and Garvey and many other people in Nkrumah and all of them that rise up, tried to kill Castro over 100 times. And they, anyway, damn the CIA, FBI, and all them devil organizations that work for the United States. Ain't none of them no good. Damn the Democrats. You are African. Join our African organization. Stand up with Burkina Faso. Black
Buck
power.
America. I concur 101%. Now I'm trying to get out of here. And I know you on fire. And
Africa,
I
Africa.
know the people love to hear you burn and see you burn. But we're going to have to bring back the heat on another occasion when we get back from that African continent. When we get back from Burkina Faso, you're going to have to come on here again and start about another fire. Light it up. I hope I got a match to throw in there. But you
And we
remember,
headed to Burkina Faso this weekend to stand up with Burkina Faso and stand up with the revolution in Burkina Faso. And we definitely have a report to bring back to you when we get back. Long live Burkina Faso, long live Africa, and long live all African people worldwide, Pan-Africanism, and long live socialism, the economic system that take everything that the rich folk got and give it back to the poor and get rid of the poor and make everybody have nice house, lights, gas, water, and get rid of all this old prison system, jail system that's holding our people in them slave camps in them jails. They don't deserve to be there. They deserve to be with us in nation building and help building our families and our extended families worldwide. And we say hello to Nicaragua, El Salvador, the revolutions in El Salvador, not them crooks, and to Venezuela and to Cuba and all the freedom fighters in South and Central America. Thank you. And we will all join together with the native people, with the so-called Mexicans and Indians and all the Aztecs and the Maya people. We will join together with you, and we will definitely destroy imperialism. Imperialism is on its deathbed, and the United States has survived on imperialism, raping and robbing and stealing and taking other people's stuff and dropping bombs on people like they do in Iraq right now as we talk. Black, long live Africa. Africa must unite. In order for us to ever have anything, we must look to our African land. And all those that's religious people out there, God gave us Africa. Africa. And the devil brought us to the so-called America.
all right.
Long live Africa.
Long live Africa. And again, my brother, I say thank you. Mintu, take Brother Mukasa down. We'll bring him back and I'll close this on out. Thank you so much, African. Okay. I told you he was on fire. That uh, that ancestor, and he ain't an ancestor yet, but that legend fought, still fighting. The elder fought, still fighting. You got young and the Honorable Malik Zulu Shabazz. He's gone through some, still fighting. Brother Yasuki, I don't know him. He's gone through a lot. He lost a little nephew. It's time for it to stop. Still fighting. The question is, are you going to join us? We sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you ready, call and leave us a message. Leave your contact. 844-848-6489. I said 844-848-6489. Let's come together. Let's unify. Let's mobilize. And let's recognize our rightful place in the world order of things. You've been listening to Elder Emoji Job, professor for the Black Panther Movement political education class. Unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. You ready? Then hook up with us, because we ready. Black Power.